Yeah, we'll do our best, but yeah, 307, 79, and 5. And that's
and he coached other sports too.
I actually, yeah, he did. And I actually, whenever he retired, they made some T-shirts that somehow I got a hold of one, and I would wear it to practice once a week, just for fun. Whenever Bob was on staff, so just to remind me how lucky I was.
Well, I mean, whenever I called over to LeBlanc and talked to Michael Evans over there, and I said, I'm going to throw out a legendary name for you for your new coach, and that helped you too, right?
Oh, I mean, it never hurts. I think I've been lucky enough to come from good people, and hopefully continue to work hard and not just settle on the name, but continue to do what we have to do and keep working, and hopefully we can keep having success.
Gary, guys, what is Chillicothe going to be like on Friday night with the visitation starting at 5, ending at 7? Can you imagine how many people are going to be at that football game, Eric? I mean, Gary, what do you think? I mean, it's going to be unreal.
They have a home game.
Home game.
Yeah, I would think a lot of people would probably, if they're going to be in town for the visitation, probably go by and check out a little Chillicothe football.
Yeah, and then the funeral will be
pick that for the game of the week.
On Saturday. But, the field is named after Bob Fairchild. Those turf fields you got to replace every 10 years or so. So the family has asked that you make I'm trying to think here. Make your contributions may be made to the Chillicothe Hornets football program for the upkeep of the Bob Fairchild Field, and many may be left at or mailed to Lindley Funeral Home, P.O. Box 47, Chillicothe, Missouri 64601, or you can send your condolences and make your donation online at lindleyfuneralhome.com. But I'll let you take it over here from Gary.
All right. Well, there was that address and things, and we'll post that on the social media if anybody wants to donate to help on the upkeep of that field. But Eric, it's great to catch up a little bit, and I'm sorry it's under these circumstances, but when you get down to Kansas City, man, look me up and let's get together and grab a beverage.
Let's do it, Gary. Sounds great, sir.
I have one more question for you.
One more question from Tyler here.
Yep.
If there's one word or phrase to describe your uncle and your grandfather's legacy in coaching, what would it be?
Toughness. They were tough. I feel like they instilled toughness in their kids.
Yeah.
And you guys saw what it was like today out there. Bob definitely would have had probably a 2.5, 2:45 practice today. He would have had on his black Chillicothe jacket that kind of had the fur line in it. I can see exactly what it would have looked like. They were tough. They got after it. That they were able to I think bring toughness to an entire town for 30, 35, 40 years.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. Hey, we'll talk soon, man. Just like I said, let me know when you're down this way, or if I get up that way, I'll look you up. And
good luck on the rest
of the season. Hey, good luck this Friday. Playoffs, right?
Who do you got?
Thank you, guys. Yep, it's playoff time.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks
again for your time, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
For your time.
Thank you. All right. Do you want to take a break here, Jim, or just keep rolling?
It's up to you.
Oh, we can keep rolling.
All right.
And then if you get some calls, let us know.
Okay. Eric, you can hang on there and watch the show from your phone right there if you want.
He's probably got film to break down.
Man, whoa. We've had highs. When we were done with that first interview with Coach Dre, we were pumped up.
I was feeling good.
We were feeling good.
I was feeling good.
And then
this one is a little somber. Doesn't take you down all the way, but now I'm in like a middle ground now.
You know, you can just level with him because nobody likes losing. Especially,
I know.
I tell you,
community has to be hurting too.
Yeah, and like I said, we moved to Chillicothe 11 years ago, guys. Bob Fairchild, I took the job at Chillicothe Country Club, and I won't tell you what he said to me. Eric, if you're listening, you kind of probably already know, but he was very honest with me. And things didn't work out there at the club, and I you know what? I wish I would have, but I kind of wish, and I kind of don't, but I wish I would have really listened to him a little harder because he was honest. And he told me kind of what was going to happen, and it kind of happened that way. And sometimes you just get into these places and situations. I remember going over to his house, him and Karen and Casey. Eric, he loved that dog Casey, didn't he? Nod your head there if you heard that. But he loved Casey, and that him and that dog would get in the golf cart and just. They lived right across the street from Chillicothe Country Club, and would just go. It was a lab, so it'd be in the pond, and some of the members would get unhappy about Casey swimming in the pond, but Bob didn't care.
Yeah, and a legend like that, you're not going to do anything.
But he gets a pass.
Yeah. He
You
can
got
do
a
whatever
pass.
he
You get a pass.
Well, and part of that is whenever you're a successful coach or anything, you're going to do it your way.
Yeah.
You're not always going to make everybody happy either.
Yeah.
wants. Absolutely. That's how it works.
That's how it works. That's how winners are made.
Yep. So while we're on this kind of high school deal, congratulations to Raytown last week. They beat North Kansas City to give them their first loss of the year in the Midwest Mike's game of the week
in a convincing fashion.
Yeah,
too.
convincing fashion. So Tyler, your players of the game were Seth Matley from North Kansas City, the quarterback, which you talked about a little bit earlier, and then Dante Manning, a highly recruited kid from here in the Kansas City area from Raytown.
So talented.
But why don't you talk a little bit about that game and those two guys and why you picked them to represent?
It was a good game first half. And second half, I thought there was a little stint there at the end of the first half where I thought North KC was going to score again and really come out in the second half and start putting it to them, but it didn't happen. They were on the inch line and trying to pound it in, and they had a penalty on them for false start, and it kind of killed all their mojo. And they went for it on fourth down, and they didn't convert it. So, which it was highly controversial. If you watched the Snapchat, you saw that.
I did.
I saw that.
I saw it. It was great.
I saw it on the Snapchat. I love the Snapchat content. Midwest Mike Snapchat, when you put that up, I mean, it's one of the things which we didn't play last Friday night. We played on Thursday, but Friday night, I kept updating my Snapchat, hey, come on, I need more.
Yeah, same way.
Once that second half hit, Dante Manning just took over the game, and it was just the hats off to Dante Manning. He's a fantastic talent, and he's looking at Iowa State, so I got some love for you. But the kid is fast and he's strong, and I was talking to the coach about it because my phone died, of course, right at the end there. I was about to interview Dante Manning and the head coach, but so sorry I didn't get an interview, but I talked to him.
They are invited in.
They are invited in, and Dante Manning said for sure. So we're going to have him on the show soon.
Maybe on signing day, we should have him come in and announce his...
Do it right here.
Yeah.
Right
his
here.
college
Right here,
decision
live.
here in the Euclid TV studios.
That would be awesome.
Wow.
Maybe. I don't know.
But no,
Just throwing it out there.
I didn't really get to interview Manning because he was busy, dealing with family. I didn't have my phone with me anyway, so I just invited him to come in here so we can get words straight from him.
Absolutely.
You don't need me relaying stuff from people. But the coach, one thing I was talking about the coach is I was talking to him about him, and he said that he's just one of those kids that everyone loves, and he lights up the place. He makes everything better, and he's, it's great to be talented, but as we found out, if you're talented and you don't have good character, you really It really.
I have a personal story that I am not going to share about that currently at Shawnee Mission East, but I'm not going to share that on the air.
So Seth Matley,
character matters.
Seth Matley, that kid played. Seth Matley played his heart out. Let me tell you, that kid. He was giving everything he had, and he was getting beat up, and he was still at the end. He was still fighting, and he was walking off field, and he was walking around with his head down. And I just thought, man, why is he walking with his head down? He's played an extraordinary game, and it was just things didn't line up. But that stop at the end of the first half just crushed them, man. And they came out, and then Dante Manning continued to do what he was doing, and he's done all year. So, but Seth Matley, great kid, very humble, very nice to talk to. I had my moment with him where, I felt like maybe, I was helping him out.
Fantastic.
Where, he kept looking down. And if you're a student or athlete out there, if you give 100%, do not ever look down, because you have nothing. As long as you gave everything you had. One of my old wrestling coaches, I was wrestling a match and I was losing final seconds, and I gave up. And one of those things is I got off Matt, and he said, did you give up? I said, yeah. And he said, don't you ever give up. And that has resonated with me. And so with Dre being here, that brought back all those memories, of him saying, don't give up. Don't you ever give up again.
So, sorry, go ahead.
It's resonated with me in my life. And so that was one of the things I was trying to pass on Matley, because he had a great game, great kid. He kept looking down. I asked him, I said, can I ask you a question? He goes, yeah. I said, well, why do you keep looking down? And he was very respectful of that. He didn't puff his chest out at me. He said, you're right. He's like, I need to keep my head up, sir. And so, North KC is a great team with a lot of talent. And
Coach Douglas does a good job.
Coach Douglas was fantastic to interview. I had a blast interviewing him. So hats off to both teams. Both teams had extraordinary seasons. For North KC.
Well, and they're coming to the playoffs this week, so it's going to continue.
Still, even one loss. That's one loss, and I think North KC is going to come back with a vengeance. I think they're going to learn from this loss. I think that North KC is going to be a force to be reckoned with come playoffs.
That's what the good teams do. So we'll see.
Yeah. So as we transition here to this week's game, I just want to throw it out there that if you text us at 816-599-3473 and you have a memory of Bob Fairchild that you would like to share with us live on the air, you can send a text again to 816-599-3473, and we'll do our best to read any of those that may come in, or bring you on the show maybe by V-call, or if you're watching live and you'd like to talk about Bob Fairchild, here's your opportunity. But this week's game, moving on, staying in the high school realm, is Winnetonka at Platte County. Coach Winnetonka, at Winnetonka, Coach Benny Palmer, I believe it's his second year up there. And then Platte County, Coach Oots, been doing it well there for a long time. We had their quarterback coach on a few months ago, Michigan guy. He's been on the show. He'll be at show 100. It's going to be an exciting deal. Coach Baskerville, I kept wanting to call him Bakerville. So remember that.
Bakerville?
But Coach Baskerville, quarterback's coach up at Platte County, they've had some good ones come through there.
Yeah.
But that's our game of the week this week, Winnetonka at Platte County. So,
and I'm excited for this. Platte County is one of those teams that they're
really good.
They are really good. But Winnetonka, they are no slouch either.
Platte County's always really good.
What's that?
Platte County's always really good.
Yeah, they are.
This is gonna be a fun game. I hope and pray that it's a good one. That
be a slobber knocker.
I hope I really get to
do some JR.
Yeah, get to channel my inner JR.
By God,
there you go.
I actually did use the by God the other day.
God.
Kid got laid out. I go, by God.
That's awesome. So check out that content on our Midwest Mike Snapchat. At Midwest Mike's on Snapchat. And maybe some spinoff stuff coming here soon, but we'll get